Hello, thank you for joining us on this Monday. We are thrilled to have you with us. We are eager to get started this morning. We're kicking off a new month, and maybe you've got some monthly goals you're trying to reach, or you're just looking to learn something new to get yourself motivated. And we have one of our favorites here today. Kathleen Black is joining us. We're going to talk about all sorts of things with her. She's got a new book out. She's got a conference coming up. She's always a busy lady, helping people, helping real estate agents with their businesses, helping teams be more successful. So Kathleen, it's lovely to see you this morning or this afternoon where you are.
Yeah, thanks, Leah. It's wonderful to be back. It's been a little bit, and I'm excited to connect with everybody again. Thanks for having me.
We're always happy to have you. You, though, are super busy these days because you've got the summit coming up. Let's start with talking about the summit.
Yes, we are ecstatic to have Ultimate Team Summit. It's the 6th annual event already, which is crazy. Coming back in a few short weeks. It's going to be the evening of November 22nd and then all day the 23rd and 24th, as well as January 19th is our third virtual day. So everyone's included in Summit. We are thrilled to have a live in person, but we also have virtual because we want everybody included and to be there for sure.
Nice that we can sort of start getting back to at least a little bit of live. How can people get more information and where can they go?
Yeah, you can go right to our website. So ittakes.team, ittakes.team, and go to the event tab, and you can get information because this year we have 3 different streams running. One for our entrepreneurs, our broker owners, our brand leaders, our team leaders, director of operations, things like that. And then one for solo agents, either you're working on your own or you're working within a team, and another room or stream running for all of our team support, our rocks that we rely on so very much. And at the end of our talk today, I've got some exclusive pricing for Century 21 Canada as well. So if you're looking to join us, I've got that a little bit later on to save you guys. We'd love to have you out.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We will look forward to that. We will stick around because I know there's also some good content coming up about the death of the salesman. Mm-hmm. And exactly how are things changing so that people just don't want to be sold to anymore?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's exactly it. And we're going to get into this in a second. But, going through the last couple of years, I think more than ever, we all look for helpers and we all want to be helpers, and helpers are outselling salespeople or traditional salesman archetype across the board in the thousands of agents we support and are tracking. So I really want to bring, how are they doing that and how to position yourself to be that consultant right now in the knowledge era. And what is that? So I'm excited to share that with everybody now. And I'll give you guys some specifics on how to know where you're positioning and what you can do once you get to the consultant's positioning to increase business, help more people, essentially.
Great. Well, I will let you take it over because you're what they came for today.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks so much. And again, thanks to everybody at Century 21 Canada for having me back. I always love to spend some time with everyone here. So as Lee said, death of the salesman, what does it mean, right? How are we moving into this knowledge era? And I think we know in the economy, things have shifted a little bit. And I know in my work with top achievers, very successful people, helping them become more successful, we look for some key things. We look for, how do we feel? How can we find joy? How do we make other people feel? What are we doing and is it efficient? And do the traditional ways always still work? Some of them might, some of them might not. For some of you listening to this call, I can tell you that there's a guarantee you're leaving a huge amount of additional opportunities to help people on the table. And the people that we're able to help are the people we're able to give value to. And when you give value to your community, you bring value back, whether that's in money, it's in energy, it's in, peace of mind, it's in the ability to contribute to your communities. There's so many different ways that it's important, but I want to empower you today with exactly how to position yourself as a consultant. So I'm going to bring up some visuals just to help us. And I've given some examples outside of real estate today for us to really kind of see, how do we relate to the different types of selling versus consulting outside of the real estate industry? And how will that allow us to see how we're positioning ourselves? Because sometimes when you're in it, it's really hard to see, right? I help people build massive teams from top producers. I help average agents build up to selling more. And sometimes when you're in your business, it's really hard to see the way you're positioning yourself or the way you're communicating to others. So I want to make it a little bit easier today. So the consultant outsells the salesman. That's definitely something I will stand behind, but I'm also going to share some other need to know facts in the knowledge economy and what that is. So I think in the past, couple of years, things have changed for all of us, right? Some of us, things have changed drastically. Some of us, things have changed a little bit. And I think it's important that some things have shifted a little bit and maybe for the positive, right? So health for all of us is more precious than ever. I think all of us value our health. We're more probably aware of our health just because of the focus and the news and the constant conversations. Peace of mind has become more of a prosperity. Right? This idea of hustle and grind, this idea of build a successful business at the loss of my life, my health, my time with my family, it just doesn't sit as well as anymore, right? We had the chance to kind of say, wait a minute, what do I really value? And I think peace of mind is one of the top prosperities that people are looking for right now, both for ourselves in our lives, but also for the people we work with. I want peace of mind that I can trust the people I work with, that I know where they're coming from, that they've got my back. I want to work with people like that. And I want to support people who work like that with their clients, buyers and sellers out there in the industry and our economy. Freedom can feel a little bit fleeting. I took a trip this summer around Italy, and we took a ferry over to Greece, and I was gone this year about 6 weeks consecutively, and my business grew and it ran beautifully. I did not work from Italy and Greece, but certainly, it's been a different travel experience. Last year, I took 8 weeks off to hike across Spain, right? So building business and having peace as my prosperity is something I know very well. It's extremely important to me. So, we notice freedom is a little bit different, right, than it used to be. So that's something that's changed. And I think end of the day, we just know life is too short not to enjoy what we're doing. Life is too short not to talk to people that we enjoy speaking to, that we trust. Right? The idea of, getting on the phones and doing these like pushy sales scripts again and again and again, where people are hanging up on you, where people don't want to talk to you. I mean, that doesn't feel good for us, right? And here's the thing I want to propose. How does it feel to the people you're talking to? If it doesn't feel good for you, how is it resonating with them? And I'm going to propose to you that perhaps it's not just what you're saying. It might be how you're viewing how you help people in the industry, but it's also what you're saying and in what order. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. So life is far, far too short not to enjoy it. I'm not willing to work weekends, evenings, all the time in my on season, my high performance season, if I don't get to have an off season where I get to go on an adventure. That's the way I work. I help successful people become more successful and feel successful. There's a difference. I want to feel successful. I don't just want to make more money. I want peace of mind, right? Life is too hard to do all of these things on our own. And we need each other. We know this more than ever. I am nothing without the team behind me. I'm nothing without my family. I'm nothing without my clients that, trust in me every single day. And I want to show up at my best. We value those who help us along in our journey, right? We value the people who make our journeys a little bit easier, right? If I've had an issue, any of us in real estate have never had any issues, with CRA, if you're in Canada, or questions, I value my accountant. My accountant gives me peace of mind. If I get a letter, I'm like, oh my gosh, this isn't what we talked about. What's going on? I call my accountant, and I know my accountant has my back, and they're going to know, oh, I can see what happened, Kathleen. I'm calling right now, and they're getting it done. If I have an issue in my business and something's going on and I need to deal with something legal, I trust my lawyer. My lawyer gives me peace of mind. If I didn't trust my lawyer, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night as well. Right? I trust my naturopath, etc. So the best people in the world are the people who help us allow us to go through this journey and make it a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit less stressful. And I think all of us have the ability to do that. Even if you're talking to online leads, repeat and referral clients, anybody who's looking to have help in this industry, we have the ability to make that journey more enjoyable, less stressful, less sleepless nights for everyone. And I think it's a lot to do with how we position ourselves. So I'm going to give you guys some examples in a second. At this point, it's been 14 years full time helping successful people become more successful, feel more successful. helping people deal with the demands that come with a growing business, right? It sounds funny, right? I want to grow my business, but there's a lot of really unique demands that come with that. So over 20,000 hours, 2 best-selling books, a documentary coming up next year called The Relentless One, and I'll vibe well with the Century 21 crew with my latest bestseller is called Relentless to Rise. But essentially, you know, all of this time is to be able to track thousands and thousands of agent experience and hundreds of teams to look at what's working. And I can tell you the consultant's approach is working. It's working to the tune of 7 times greater return per marketing dollar spent, 7 times greater return for opportunity to appointment booked with somebody who might be interviewing me, just like they would their lawyer, their doctor, their accountant. Those are huge gaps in results, right? They're massive. So I'm here to bring what I've learned from working with other people to help all of you today. So let's start to talk about the different sales approaches. You know, there's definitely the approach, and we're going to go through these kind of quickly because I want to get to I want to paint a picture for you. So we start with that person who's selling and they're looking to have a certain product, right? So if I go into a timeshare sales center, and they always get a bad rap, I know, but they're a great example because they're that environment where you combine urgency and high pressure traditional sales tactics, right? That's where the tactics come from. It's like they get you in a petri dish. Like, what are all the things that we can say and do exactly to try to get the maximum number of signups we can? Interestingly enough, when you go to timeshare, they're selling a certain product and they're making money off commission. This is very, very clear, right? So there's a whole bunch of different things that happen in that environment. Even though you can get a lot of people to purchase, what happens at the end of the day? What percentage of people do you think ask to get out of that sale once they've left that office with that representative? The difficulty here is that my best recommendation is typically my only recommendation. And on top of it, I'm making money based on what you buy. So I'm here telling you that I'm going to advise for you or that you should make this purchase, but I only sell one product and I only make money one way. And for most people, you're going to create a certain feeling in those environments. And they're going to ask you, how do you think you feel when you're talking to somebody who's saying, hey, this is the best product you could buy, but it's the only one they offer. And they're telling you should buy it right away, right now, because it's going to sell. What feeling comes to mind right away? How can this relate to real estate? When in real estate, do we accidentally or intentionally, maybe you do it on purpose, but I think most people accidentally do this in my experience. When are you pushing one product to your detriment? When is the public feeling like they can't trust you because you only want to sell one certain thing? Maybe when they call on your listing on a sign call, maybe when you only have one certain listing package or one certain marketing package that you're offering and they don't understand the apples to oranges with your commission structures or the way you deal with fee, right? So if I'm, somebody looking around on the internet and I'm interested in a certain house and I call you and all you're doing is talking about just that house, and then you're trying to get me to see that house and I get there and I'm like, I'm not sure if I like it or not. Your head is like, I want them to buy this house. If they buy this house, I get paid. If you're positioning yourself that way, you may get a small percentage of sales that way. You absolutely may. But you are actually pushing away the majority of people who will not buy that particular house, who are not even ready to narrow in on a certain house, which we're going to talk about in a minute, or who are so early on in their process that it just feels like so much stress and pressure. We're losing all of those people because we're trying to approach sales in a way that worked before the internet. And that's crazy, right? Think about tactics that are like decades and decades old, and we're trying to apply them now. That world doesn't exist anymore, but we try to kind of fit this like square peg into a round hole, right? So what we want to do is just really identify that the bulk of opportunities are actually not happening when somebody's ready to make a purchase, not in real estate, right? Before the internet, the average period of time that somebody would take to make a decision to buy or sell with a realtor was 2 to 3 weeks. Now, after the internet, that period is longer and longer. It's at least 14 weeks So if I'm 14 weeks out and I don't know what type of house I want or what developer or what project I want to be at, and I don't know which brand I want to work with, I just know that I'd like some help navigating the process. I don't really want to be a full-time realtor if I'm in the public, right? I want to work with somebody I can trust, where I have peace of mind. I know they've got my back, right? So if I'm selling one product, I'm 14 weeks out, the majority of those people are going to be pushed away from my methods. Second, we can get to the point where now it's like, okay, I do sell one product, but I'm an expert, right? So I'm not just focused on the commission breath, so to speak. I'm not, in scarcity. I'm not saying, oh my gosh, this person has to buy this house because I need to pay my bills, or I'm worried I'm not going to get another deal, or hey, you better lean in and give them a bit of pressure because if not, they're going to be gone. And the truth is, without a strong client process, you're probably right. They probably are going to be gone. So not only is that pressure costing you sales, but on top of it, you're going to lose the majority of those people, which we're going to come back to that in a second, right? We're going to kind of move forward and have different, I'm going to show you the different ways to position yourself so you can see the difference. So let's say I am the expert, but I still only sell one product. So if Steve Jobs were still with us and I asked him, or any of us asked him, which computer should I buy? What's he going to say, right? Which phone should I buy? What's the best technology? Who has the best culture? Who has the best vision? Doesn't matter. Likelihood is Steve Jobs is going to say his product. He is an expert at his product. Think about how people search to buy a car, for instance, right? So when I go to buy a car, I did the exact same thing I did when I chose which brokerage to go to initially. And if you're in recruitment for a team or brokerage, ask people how they make decisions. I love figuring out how people make decisions. And there's very easy questions that'll show you exactly how they do it. How people do one thing's how they do almost everything. They'll buy a car the same way they'll buy a house, just saying. So when I went to look to buy a car, or I went to look to buy my cottage or my house or anything like that, the world almost always starts with macro to micro. We go wide and we narrow, right? So when I wanted to decide what car to buy, I went to a whole bunch of different dealerships. I went to a whole bunch of different brands, and I tried to narrow down, like, which ones do I like? So if I decided that, in my world, I really love Porsche because I have one. I love Audi. I like Volvo, maybe Volkswagen. We're thinking about an Atlas. I need more room, right? So I'm going to go to all those different brands. If I just right away am starting in the process and I walk into any particular car dealership and they're telling me that theirs is the right one and I should buy this, and what do I need to tell them today, or what do they need to tell me for me to buy right now, I'm going to have a little bit of skepticism, right? Because they have bias. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, I just started looking. I don't know yet if I want Mercedes or I want a Hyundai or I want whatever, like a Ford, GM. I have no idea. And right now, I feel like you have a little bit of bias because you only sell this particular product, even though you're an expert at it. So the interesting thing is, if you're an expert and you only sell one certain development, or you only promote your listings, for example, because you're not working with buyers as much, you will get a very small percentage of people once they choose your brand or your product. But the reality is only 1 in every 122 callers buy the house that they call on. Right? That's it. And in a seller's market, which a high proportion of our cities in Canada, not all, but our bigger ones, are in sellers markets, right? We have a depletion of supply. So even more, even if I want to buy the house, I can't necessarily get it. I might lose 2, 3, 5, 20, 40, 50 houses in multiple offers, right? So the difficulty is, if I'm positioning myself as an expert of a certain product, and you have to think about this, you might subtly be doing this without even knowing, and I'm not being transactional, I'm not trying to push you towards the sale, I'm still going to lose a lot of people because they're still in that macro area. They haven't gone wide to narrow yet. So I'm trying to meet them where they've decided what brand, what house, what they want to do. They're not there yet. They're 14 weeks out. The percentage of people who are going to hire you when they know exactly the brand they want to buy is extremely small, right? We're talking about 5% of the possible opportunities available to you. Okay. So this is going to complicate us. On top of it, once I start to decide, who I want to work with, maybe your values relate to me, maybe they don't. So, I mean, hey, if I want an electric car, right? Who are we going to think about? Elon Musk. I'm going to get a Tesla. Again, now you're still an expert. And Elon Musk and Tesla, I guess, has a little bit of a bonus because they don't have as many direct competitors as let's say, gasoline-based cars, right? At least not that people hold to the same esteem. But we're going to look at it and say, okay, you're only selling Tesla. I know it's super efficient. I really like efficiency. I know that, it's better environmentally. I really want to think about, yeah, maybe I should consider a Tesla. Now I'm also going to look at, what are your values? What are you saying? What is your marketing doing? Who are you trying to appeal to? What do you believe in, right? Can I trust what you believe in? Can I trust the way that you do life? Because in the knowledge economy, I don't just care what you know. I care who you are. I care what experience you've had, because you're going to advise me based on what you believe in. And that's extremely important. What are your morals? What are your principles, right? What are your guiding factors? So a great example, I trust my lawyer through and through always. And some of you know I'm engaged. So I talk to the lawyer. I have a business, I have kids, I have all this stuff, right? So I talk to the lawyer, okay, if I'm going to move in, I'm going to get married, what are we going to do? And my lawyer, who I trust and I know his values, said, Kathleen, this is the way you do it. Whatever you own, whatever they own, you own. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know if we're in alignment with values here. I don't know if that's the right essence that I want to walk into something with, right? So right away, we could get back into alignment. And I know him very well. But if I was first going to hire somebody for that, I would have been like, wait, that's not appealing to me, right? Elon Musk is trying to put the sex appeal back in cars and conquered America, right? This is interesting. Not everybody's going to relate to that message. I personally don't. My car's sexier than yours. You don't need anything. It drives itself. Some of you will love that message. Some people, that's not your target market. So not only are we looking at what are you an expert of, we're looking at who are you and what do you believe in? And for some of you, that's working to your benefit. For some of you, maybe it's not, right? I know if I had this type of messaging in association with my company, I wouldn't do so well. Some of you would do very well with this type of messaging. It just depends on what you believe in. I don't only want to know what you know. I want to know what you believe in that you're using to interpret information for me, right? Now let's flip it to the other side. Let's say I'm fully providing service, but the service is based on what sells, right? So you can think about platforms like Facebook would be one example of it. Do you trust Facebook to show you absolutely everything that's up there in your feed? Of course not, right? Facebook's going to show you based on your preferences and the people you click on and what you look at and all that fun stuff. And we have other social media experts who will come on to get way deeper than that on that conversation. But end of the day, I use Facebook, right? With my company, lots of you use Facebook with your companies as well. We're paying for a service that the service is provided when the platform makes money, right? My ads are going to be shown when I pay enough to get that exposure or when I pay enough to get the clicks I want. That's how it works. So it's like, yes, you're providing me a service, but I'm still going to feel a little bit unsure about following your guidance because it's only based on where you're getting paid. It's not based on where I'm reaching my goals right away. It's based on where I'm paying your platform enough to be able to offer what I'm looking to have. So there's still the side where we're providing service, but we're still transactional, right? And this is where we'll find there's a lot less referrals. Maybe your reviews will go down. If you're focused on service, but you're transactional, you're sales-based, not service-based, that's where people feel it. They feel that you're like, okay, yeah, I'm providing you a service, but I get paid when you buy, I get paid when you sell. And that's where they don't hear from you, right? Things start to drop after the house goes firm and they don't hear from you. There's problems on moving day and they don't call you. You're not their go-to person. When they go to make the review, it's the 2-star review instead of the 5-star review. And at the end of the year, when you look at your source of business, you'll know if you feel that you're providing service, you're not trying to push a certain product. You're like, hey, I'm good with helping people whatever they need, but I'm only focused on that dollar, that transaction. You might also find you're burning out a lot more. It's very depleting, and your percentage of business that's coming naturally from your community, your database, it might be really low. So that would be an indicator that you're positioned that way. On the other hand, there's some platforms that we know we can kind of trust to be a little bit more transparent, or we hope so, right? Like when I go to get stats from Canadian Real Estate Association, I assume those stats are valid and they're clear. Same thing from National Association of Realtors. If I go on Google reviews, I know they're neutral. Somebody's going on there and giving their direct feedback. I trust those reviews. I use them for travel all the time. People around me are always like, how do you find these hotels so quickly? I've got a method. I go on Google reviews and I have a minimum rating, and then I put a certain price and the best just kind of rises to the top. It's a really easy sift and sort. I trust it, right? Wikipedia, some people would agree it's unbiased or not, depending on who's allowed to be a contributor. Who doesn't take a vacation without talking to TripAdvisor? We've all heard about these like third-party sources, right, that are managing how we see information. But the reality is the best of the best in our industry are actually positioning ourselves even higher than those third-party resources, because when I get in trouble or I need something or I need an advantage or I need someone to guide me, I might start with reviews, but I'm going to use them again to go wide to narrow. I'm going to use them to find the expertise that I need, that I can trust, that I can sleep at night supporting me on my journey, right? Make life a little bit happier, that journey a little bit more enjoyable. And that would be moving to the people that we trust to guide us, right? And those people that we think about or associate with naturally for most of us in North America would be people like our nurses, right? Our doctors, our paramedics, our firefighters, perhaps our police. They're also our accountants, our lawyers, our doctors, our engineers. Often, these are people we think about as guides to trust. Maybe we trust some of them more than others. That's not the point of it, the point of this slide. But the point of it is that there's certain people we relate to trusting to interpret data for us, right? And those people are able to help us with multiple different questions or answers that we might have. And when we look to position ourselves as salespeople and we use the same language and we use the same rhetoric, right, that we think about when we would have went into a car dealership 20 years ago, that feeling is what we're actually creating in the people we're talking to who are just looking for help. When we position ourselves like a professional, like a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, people feel that and they understand the structure and they understand that you're trying to lend your eyes, your experience, your morals in a trusted way to guide people. Why is this so important when it comes to our business in real estate? Why is it delivering a 7 times greater increase in results across, for my platform, thousands and thousands of agents over a decade of tracking? Why is that happening? And I'm going to tell you this is why. So I want you to identify for yourself where you are on this spectrum. So I'm going to show you 4 different components. And I really want you to think about this. When you go into your week and you go into your month, I want you to think about how you're talking to people. Right? What are you focusing on? What next steps are you offering? And which box would they fit in? And be really transparent with yourself. Let yourself realize that, hey, maybe in some areas my trust factor is really high. Maybe in some areas my I don't trust you score is really, really high on the other side, as in high, I can't trust you versus I can, sorry. So you want to identify that because you might be really losing a lot of opportunities, particularly from new marketing or from your database, if you're focusing on the sale instead of focusing on being a neutral helper. Okay, so let's go through this in a different way. I've just given you examples of all 4. One is the expert. Again, focused on being the expert of all the options available, right? I'm going for the CMA. I want to look at all the sales from all the different brands in the past X number of weeks or months. And I want to present my case for how to price the home to the seller, but I want to show them my cookie crumbs. I want to show them my track. How did I get here? And I want to go wide to narrow, and I want to do it with integrity so they understand with my experience, I'm taking all the data and I'm telling you with my experience how my eyes view it, how it plays out in the real estate industry. That's what you're going to pay me for. You're going to pay me for the results I can create for you and the safety I can allow you to feel. Whether it's me or it's someone on my team, that's what you're going to pay me for. You're not paying me for my time. You're not paying me for me or because I'm Kathleen Black. You're not paying me for that. You're not paying you because you're, Bob Schneider or whatever your name is. That's not what they're paying you for. They're paying you to feel safe and they're paying you for a result. And they'll pay you for that even if you have other team members if you build one day. That's the other reason I love positioning this way. So am I positioning as the trusted expert, or am I positioning as somebody who gets paid in sales and therefore is focused on the sale? It's a very different focus. One is focused on educating and lending their experience and giving choices. The other is focused on the quickest path to get a commission check. They are not the same. They cannot live in the same place in any world. They're just very, very different. The other two spectrums, again, is product. So if you call me and I have Spenceley Street listed, I'm going to tell you all about Spenceley Street. I'm going to try to show you Spenceley Street. I'm going to promote Spenceley Street. I'm not going to tell you anything bad about Spenceley Street because it's my listing and I want to sell it, right? That's my product. Or I'm only selling X developer. So they're the best and you want to buy that certain developer. I have helped so many people who have new sales developments move into a place where they double, triple, quadruple, one, even 20 times their business in resale when they realize how they were positioning themselves as a product expert, when the truth was they had a product they could promote, but they also had the ability to serve the people who were not going to buy that certain development, but their focus wasn't on it before because they were too focused on product sales, right? They lost a huge amount of business for many, many years because they were positioned in the wrong place, okay? The second is service. So if I'm focused on a product, I only sell Volvo or Porsche or Tesla or, Spenceley Street. That's all I sell. I only sell this certain marketing package. I don't have any other options for you. If you list with me, this is it, right? If I'm focused on service, I want to offer what the client is looking for. I'm a coach. I want to find the quickest way to get them where they want to go in their favor. And I want to trust that if I have a great process to do that, people will naturally buy and sell more houses. I don't need to push them. One of the top things that differentiates a performance environment from a non-performance environment is this. A performance environment will always focus on process, always. A performance environment always focuses on process. We encourage the process. We track the process. We train to improve on applying the process. Why? Because the process gives us the outcome. An average mindset, an average performance, or even a low functioning performance environment, they don't focus on process. They focus on the outcome. I want to sell more houses. I want to sell more houses. I want to sell more houses. Well, tell me how you focusing on selling more houses right now is going to do anything but give you stress and anxiety. Process creates the outcome. Focusing on the outcome in and of itself makes no sense. It's like setting a goal next year and saying, I want to make $1 million and doing nothing different in your business. You're failing before you even started, right? Expert service are focused on a process to educate people and give options. And they have a very specific client process to teach people how they help, how they can be safe, how they give them an advantage over the market if they're buying or selling with them, because they'll help them with any of the options available, right? Very, very different. Product sales is about how quickly can I get that sale. Okay, so these are the 4 different spectrums that we can mix, and maybe we're a little bit of all 4, right? And part of our business. I just want to get you thinking today. I want to excite you with like, how can I transition a little bit to a place where I have more joy in what I do every day, and I make other people feel more joyful, and I make other people feel more helped in a stressful situation. That's what I want to get you thinking about. So when you think about product sales, this is how your client feels. They feel avoidant. Right? There's so much pressure. There's so much bias. Like, I just want to avoid you. Like, I don't want to be in your environment because I'm not ready to make a decision. No, I just started to think about buying or selling. I'm 6 months out. Why are you trying to tell me you could get me top dollar tomorrow? Why are you trying to get me out to see a home tomorrow? This doesn't make any sense. I just want to avoid you. Why do you want me to come into the office? Like, what are we going to do there? What are we going to talk about? Right? That is not a follow-up call. I was thinking about you and thought you might want to come in the office next week. Not a follow-up call. That is product sales. That is not in service to the person we're talking to. What about if I'm selling a certain product, but now I'm that expert, right? So we think about Steve Jobs. We think about Elon Musk. I'm creating skepticism until the person has naturally chosen the brand, the house, the marketing package that they want. There's skepticism because I'm biased, right? Think about it. The majority of the people you're going to talk to are up here. They're in macro land. They're wide. They have not narrowed down their search yet. So when you show up passionate as an expert about a specific option, you're losing people. They have skepticism. There's too much bias. And when I move over to a place where I'm now in service, but I'm offering sales, there's pressure, right? Because how many, we've seen 5 houses. I've shown you the best of the best. I've educated you, which one do you think is the best to pursue right now? There's pressure in this environment because it's transactional. It's not actually looking to educate the client and to get out of the way and let them pick what's best for them and their family. So it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for us. It doesn't feel good for them. When I'm focused on signing more clients and making more money, I don't feel good. When I'm focused on contribution, on legacy, on building a better world, when I'm focused on saying, hey, you know what? This is going to make my family's life better. This is going to make my community better. This is going to make the people I help's life better, my country, my world better. Now, watch out. I might fall 20 times. I'm going to get up until I reach my outcome because I feel good and I believe in what I'm doing, right? And for most people, economics is not always their top value, which means it's not just money that drives us as people. It's so many other things. So if I move into a place where I'm expert and I'm service, that's not only the future of where real estate services, consulting is, where the bulk of production is, it's where it currently lives. That's where people feel safe to talk to me, whether they're 14 weeks out, 6 months out, 8 months out. That's where they feel safe to tell me what they're looking for instead of what I want to tell them they should do. That's where their voice matters. I'm not trying to overwhelm them or overpower them. I'm trying to listen to them. I'm trying to help them. That's where we do far more business. We do business by helping people and providing value, not by selling to them. No one wants to be sold to. Nobody does. People want you to educate them on why they should feel good about the decision they want to make by educating them on why it's a good decision, not by telling them pressure that they should make that decision, right? So I challenge you to look at the different ways you're approaching business right now and be really honest with yourself about which of the 4 boxes you're operating in. And are you losing business because of it? Are you losing the option to help people, to create trust, our most important entity in the market right now, right? In the knowledge era. How do we do it? You know, once we decide we want to be in that expert service space, which I hope you're saying you do, I certainly do. There's something I've always looked at since I've been licensed as a realtor and since I've supported others. And that's what I call the loop. And the loop is something that's really important to me because the loop is the way I bring the conversation back to be able to provide value, right? That's what the loop is. So anybody who is in the consultant space, an advisor, right? A trusted advocate, a knowledge worker, any of these words, if they resonate, they're all going to look for the loop because it's how we help, right? So you can discover an authentic loop in 3 steps. There's 3 things I want you to do. And that's all I'm giving you, like super powerful takeaway. Okay. So number 1, I want you to know the right questions in advance. It has to be in advance because if you don't know the right questions in advance, you can't be truly listening. Right? If you're thinking about what to say or you're unsure of the question or you don't believe in it, that's bad, right? I can't be a consultant, not believe in what I'm doing. So I may have scripts, but my scripts are conversational and my scripts are communication methods. And this is why people get Academy Awards, right? Because when you know what you want to say in advance and you believe in it and you're passionate about it, you have something that most people who work with scripts don't. And that's called presence. When I have presence, my body, my heart, my mind, my soul is present. It's listening. It's focused on that other person. When I'm trying to remember what to say, when I have a crappy script that was given to me by somebody who's like modeling, you know, calling for air duct cleaning, and I know they get a bad rap, but we all can relate to that. If I have a script like that, yeah, those aren't great. But that's not what the best of the best do. The top 1% doesn't operate like that. I want to believe in what I'm doing and I want to ask the right questions at the right time, which means I know them in advance and I am so confident on them because I know my role is to listen intently on what you need so I can help you. So number 1, I know the right questions in advance, so key, so I can fully listen to what you need. Number 2, I only want to offer value that you told me will help you. What I think doesn't matter that much, right? It really doesn't. Like you want to get to a certain point in life, either as a person in real estate or for your buyers and sellers, right? You want to get to a certain point in life. My goal is to listen to where you want to go and help you get there. My opinion on what you need to do to get there comes later. It doesn't really matter yet because you don't know who I am. We don't have rapport. We haven't met. You're not trusting me yet. I need to listen and offer value that helps you, the public, with what you want and need from your perspective. So it's all fine and great that it's a seller's market and there's no supply out there. I totally know for some of you, you're feeling that way, and you get on the phone with somebody and you're like, listen, if I could get you this amount, will you sell your house tomorrow? If that's not what they said they wanted and needed, you just lost an opportunity. Because here's the thing, they may not want to sell yet. They may not know that that's a good amount of money to accept yet. But if I meet with them and I offer to help them on what they want, I'm going to develop rapport. They're probably going to hire me. And in a few weeks, if it's right for them and I educate them on that, they may choose to list their home with me. But if I push them on that up front, I'm going to lose them because I was in a sales focused transactional mindset on a certain outcome I wanted for that client. I lost the ability to truly help them and listen to them, right? So stop offering what you think they should want. People don't need anybody else telling them what they should want. We got enough people doing that, right? Listen to what they feel they need and want and offer them value based on that. Okay. And third, book an appointment, right? Book a time, a date and a place, whether it's Zoom, whether it's in the office, whatever it is. You need to secure a way to teach people how you're going to help them, how you're going to make them feel safe, how you're going to give them an advantage, why you're the best of the best of the best of the best. And usually probably don't tell them that, but you might want to educate them with some examples, right? Those are the 3 steps. That's the loop. And once you understand the loop as a consultant, we're always looking for, how do I help? How do I help? How do I help? Stop trying to sell. How do I help? Right? It changes how we feel. You know, at the end of the day, when you get on the phone with somebody to potentially work with them. And here's the thing, an ad call, a sign call, a realtor.ca inquiry, these are people you could potentially work with. They 100% are. So if you're listening to this and you're going, yeah, when I get a realtor.ca, you know, viewing tons of these buyers, I've got not enough supply, you know, it's not really somebody I'm considering working with. Those people are people who are looking for guidance. Some of them are going to list homes, right? In our database, there's the majority of listing opportunities we'll probably have if you're in a seller's market. What are you offering people? Are you talking to everybody and only offering pumpkin pie, right? Happy Halloween. Halloween was yesterday. Are we only offering pumpkin pie, or are we listening and finding out, oh, they like pecan pie, they like pumpkin pie, I don't like sweets, I like pizza? Are you listening and letting people tell you what they like? Are you telling them what they should like? Which I don't know about you, but I don't know. I don't like when people tell me what I should like. I guess I'm just obstinate like that, right? I like to rebel, but I really like when people ask me what I like, right? What do you like, Kathleen? Well, I like this, I like that. Yeah, now that you got me talking about it, maybe I feel like so-and-so, but it feels good to talk about what we're looking for and why for most people, right? So make sure you're not offering the same product to people where there's hundreds of different products they're looking for, and you're offering one out of the 200 options, or maybe out of the 2,000 options. That's your market share. That's the percentage of people you can actually help, right? So takeaway, I hope everyone wants to be a consultant. I think if we were all consultants in our mentality, the world would be a better place. I truly, truly believe that. Consultants are advisors. They constantly want to learn more and know more. They want to offer more value. They want to be more conscious as people. It's not all about them. They've moved out of ego, right? They're in that conscious place where we can work with others, which is the collective, something I'm going to talk about at Summit. It's that journey that all industry icons go through, right? To get there. Consultants are amongst the highest paid earners in the world for a reason. They're paid to think, they're paid to strategize, be analytical. They're paid to look at all those different moving pieces to help you get from A to either B or H or wherever it is you want to go as quickly as possible with less frustration, less wasted money and energy, less nights up, not sleeping. They're paid to help you do it with as much peace of mind possible, right? They're a trusted advisor. That's what everybody is looking for right now in this economy. They're looking for a trusted advisor. Are you positioning yourself that way? Can you stop selling? Selling's a lot about you. Can you stop selling? And can you start helping, working with people, even if they're earlier on? Do you have a system to do that, to stay in touch, to organize your CRM, all these little pieces that we help people do so that they can help many, many more people all at once? And at the end of the day, that process delivers people who buy and sell homes or lease homes or whatever you're doing, right? Who refer to other realtors, all of those things. So I did say at the beginning I'd offer you guys a resource. If you'd like to step more into that consultant space, that is something we love to help people with. I truly believe when I became a consultant, I became a better parent, a better person, a better team member. I certainly have become a better CEO because it's not all about me. It's about how I help other people around me and how I show them what they're great at and I magnify it and I believe in them. I believe that their greatness can be bigger than what they see. And that's a really cool thing to do. And I'd like to believe I did the same thing with buyers and sellers when I work with them, right? I believed in their dreams. And I think those types of consultants are needed right now. They make more money if that's what you want to hear, they do, but they're also needed. They're needed in the world. We need helpers, right? Who can guide us through chaos and difficult times and stress and multiple offers and all this fun stuff. So if you are a team leader, broker owner, you're again, director of operations, you're any type of leadership role, you're either the visionary, you're the driver, or you're the manager archetype. If you look at E-Myth kind of thing, you're going to be in our VIP room. And it's super cool because we have lunches and dinners and we're all together at Queen's Landing in Niagara on the Lake, which is a beautiful venue with amazing food. And we're usually too big for this venue, but this year we can fit and we made it work with our protocols. So we'd love to offer you a discount to join us. If you're a solopreneur, you're like, hey, I work with a team and I want to leverage the team more. I want to do better. I want to understand how to do that. Or I'm a solopreneur and I'd really like to build. What do I do? Do I hire an admin? I don't know what to get my admin to do. Do I organize my CRM? Am I converting right? Am I being a consultant? I don't even know, right? What's the journey to build my business to the next level? That's what your 2 days in the solopreneur room are going to be about, how we empower you, build you up, and then give you exactly what to do to build your business to that next step. And finally, for team support, our contract coordinators, our administrators, our licensed client care, all the amazing people who allow us to do what we do. If we're not support, I'd be nowhere without my support in my business. I give them full kudos every day, all day long. You get a gold ticket discount. So you get $200 off your gold tickets using the code C21 Canada. We always love to have you guys. And again, November 23rd and 24th for the gold tickets. And if you need our help sooner, you can use that QR code. We love talking strategy and it truly is strategy. We just want to hear, like, what's your dream? What do you want to do? Where do you want to be? We help people take the dreams that they feel like are impossible and make them possible really, really quick. And we put you with other people who have already made many dreams into reality, and now they're doing bigger and bigger ones. And to me, that's pretty exciting, right? To be around people like that. So if you need our help with our Sherpa service to building your business, that's the QR code there to book a strategy call with our team. And we'd love to talk how to get your dream into reality with you for sure. And then I'm just going to thank you and say, hey, like, you can shoot for average, you can shoot for amazing. Like, really, end of the day, it's the same amount of work, right? Like, I can work really hard now and have it amazing business in 2 years where I can hike across Spain, or I can go to Italy and Greece, or I can do whatever your dream is and, enjoy it a little bit more. So I hope that what I've imparted today helps you enjoy the journey a little bit more. I hope I'll see some of you at Ultimate Team Summit. And thanks again to Lee and Century 21 Canada for having me on. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you as always, Kathleen. Such good information. And I always love the idea. We're just helping people. Just go out there on any day and make it your goal to help somebody. You also have a new book, and I don't want to let you go without talking about that book because I know a lot of people will be interested in it.
Thank you. I do have a new book. So I usually have them right here, but I don't. The first book was Top 1% Life, which is expansion from chaos to calm. So anyone looking to expand, a lot of business mentality in that one. The latest one is called Relentless to Rise. So it's your path to personal expansion. And it's my story, really, but it's more my story on how I dealt with mindset in order to really step into that, like, personal leadership, like highly responsible and clear, and knowing that I can create anything I want. And I coach with a lot of people, and I think over the years, it's really unfortunate that sometimes we go through things and it kind of sticks to us and we don't realize what we're able to achieve. So if I can help people self-define instead of thinking that the hardest part of their life is who they are, actually you decide who you are. And if you need a little bit of help with that, that book will really, really get into your head of, hey, you get to choose, right? You can choose to believe what you want from anything that's happened to you and build a strong, powerful life by your definition, nothing to do with my definition, by yours. So if you're really looking to power yourself up and get inspired and build something you believe in, that book will help a lot. And we have print copies now, so it's for sale on our website or the links in our Instagram and Facebook. And I'd love everyone always to follow. We love to stay connected.
Absolutely. And people can buy it from there. So thank you very much, Kathleen. Relentless to Rise is the new book. We always love having you. Thank you very much for being here. Good luck with your summit. I hope some people take advantage of the kind code that you gave everyone. Thank you once again for that, and best of luck in connecting with people at that event.
Thank you so much, Lee. And we look forward to seeing, I think Century 21 Canada will have leadership there too on an exciting panel we haven't released, but we will be. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you so much again, Lee.
Thank you, Kathleen. And everyone have a wonderful start to your week. We will be back in another month. So